Yes, we are. Oh, is that a comment? I think we gave up on that when we became communist and had me on the show. So was I, but the point is that we're never going to get viewers. They're never going to show us on the stream. On the YouTube's never going to feature us. Because you have $30,000 in credit card debt because you insist on helping people like a loser. Oh no, silence. Desktop audio is not or say something? Ah, god damn it, OBS. Nope, still not coming through. Shitballs.
At least there are some.
There, now here. It's working.
At least there are some viewers here to tell us that like if one of us is muted full down. Professional streamer moment. Because I can't tell if like people can't hear me because I have the like YouTube stream like muted as it were too.
Yep.
It's not that I have a problem like hearing my own voice. It's just like I figure I don't need to hear it as it were too.
And that means they couldn't hear the intro audio of the music. Aw. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Sometimes OBS just decides not to make noise.
Was there a update on the OBS or like?
No, there was an update to Zoom, but I don't know if that would do it.
Yeah, I don't know if that would do it because like there's often is like a whenever is a Windows update for sure, it's like all the things in the OBS will default to like default as well too, and maybe like your stream your.
I did.
Actual, like,
yeah, I did have to do a thing. I restarted my computer, and there was a snafu with logging in, so maybe that did it. I don't know.
Yeah, possibly. And
actually, looking at it, the OBS does look different. Maybe that did do something.
Hold on. I'm going to tag everyone in the Discord.
Hi, say it.
Hey, buddy.
Hello.
Giant hand.
How are you?
And you're wearing an Avril Lavigne shirt.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about going to a concert of hers one day.
She's still doing concerts?
What, John?
She's still doing concerts. I don't know. I just sort of thought that she retired to Canada to do skateboarding.
She was a skater boy? Or, I don't know.
No, he was a skater boy.
I would sometimes get that lyric confused, and I would sometimes think like, she was a boy and he was a girl, you know.
Well, we are transing the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm like right now sharing the link into like the various like Discords I'm in. So don't mind me.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Isaiah.
No, I'm sorry to interrupt. It was probably more important.
I know I had nothing important to say at that moment as it were too. So Isaiah, you go ahead and say.
I was gonna like explain, I guess, to John how I got into, I guess you could say, white people music, quote unquote. my father, me and him didn't get along that much, but me and my father, he actually would play like a lot of like music that you wouldn't think black folks would probably be listening to. Like he was a big fan of the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Has anyone heard of that song before?
No. But
okay,
I have not heard of most things.
It's Gordon. So he was a huge Gordon Lightfoot fan. You know, he would always play Like he would play like he wouldn't put like you would expect him to play like if you saw him you would expect him to play like hip hop or rap music or like old school music mostly, but no, he actually would have on music that wasn't from that. It would be like one time I heard him, he had on the I'm not gonna write you a love song, that song, right? So he would have that playing sometimes. So I think that's where it started.
Hmm.
Also, it's really hard to avoid white culture. We're
Yeah.
everywhere, like lice.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The Biden administration even has a secretary for transiting our portions as well. Yep. Uh, uh, yeah. Hello, Metro. Hello, Joe McClory. I'm making sure I'm saying that now, since like now you all can hear me, something like that, because it started the stream like no one can hear me except for John Brockman. And so unfortunately, the John Brockman get to hear me, the jerk, do like I don't know, like say whatever.
He was
is
eating like right into the microphone. It was gross.
Yeah, because like I'm here at work and like I honestly thought like that I wasn't gonna make it for like the Joe for the Steve Jobs Patreon hangouts were too, but it's just like because I wanted to wake up like at least at 6 a.m. so I can get catch the bus to get here like early enough, but it was like 7:30 when I finally woke up and get out of bed, but
What
like
what do you work at, Geek? I forgot.
I worked. Our company's not known. Boy, we were GM nameplates in Seattle, and manufacturing plant. We do make a lot of different things as well too. Kind of like we make the buttons for things, but like also a bunch of different like manufacturing and assemblies as well too. We don't make the complete parts of things. We make like subcomponent parts for like many other things, and like their customers like use our parts to like build their parts as well too. Like Coinstars things, we make the buttons for them, or that's one of our customers. And like I mean, worked in the stockroom, so it's like the mini warehouse where it's just like parts come in. I'm supposed to keep track of them. I'm supposed to like account for them. I'm supposed to do inventory monthly. I don't know if anyone in this fucking company actually fucking cares if I do inventory or something like that. Because my firm
Are you guys the reason why airplane doors are flying off now? Because you guys just slack off at your job?
no, we don't manufacture those parts as well too. We do manufacture parts that goes on airplanes, but I don't think we're responsible for the door flying off. That was totally just Boeing being like greedy fucking assholes, and like they're determining that like profits matter more than like people's safeties were too. Even though many people at the plant were just like, no, there's actually real safety concerns. We're real safety concerns. We're real safety concerns, and like, but no one listens to those real safety concerns because like Boeing is more interested in like making profits than like keeping people safe as well too.
It would
To
be
build
kind of,
weapons.
it would be kind of, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was saying it'd be kind of badass if someone actually had like a parachute on. If they had and they got blown out of that door and they deployed their parachute. I don't know. That would be so.
Yeah, just like beginning of 24, the first season of it, honestly. To build weapons, Geek, you're a terrible person. Just kidding. We do build parts for General Dynamics and Lockheed Martin too. We make painted rings that goes on the missiles to Lockheed Martin. So yes,
If you're a communist, then why are you participating in the war machine, geek? Why are you participating in society, geek?
Yes, I participate in societies or two. I benefit from the settler colonialist imperialist capitalism that is keeping a lot of people impoverished too. Like Phoenix, like Joey, like Joanna as well too. Yeah, I don't know the better way to like make money in this society currently. Actually, I just got like W-2.
Have you tried selling cocaine in tigers?
Have you
No.
tried? Have you tried just being a janitor? I know janitors don't make a lot, but you don't. It's not as like morally.
Lockheed Martin has janitors.
Yeah. It's one of the things like if doing janitorial duty, something like that. You're not like as actively building the weapons that Lockheed Martin like does. You're just like helping make the place get clean, or too. So, but yeah, janitorial work. I don't know if if it's the only job available and I need a job, that I wouldn't be opposed to it. I will say that as well too. But like,
Well,
I
well, I just said that because you're not. It's not like a morally like you're
Mhm.
not working for a shady company. I don't know. You're
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
As then again, it's just like we have some janitorial staff, but like when Boyd bought us out, they wanted to get rid of the janitorial staff and just have it to be like is serviced out to like a third party to which is like, hey Phoenix, how you doing? Who would just like bring whoever's on contract this work too into like just take care of the trash like in his building. They do have a night shift crew that does that too, but again, that's farmed out to third party services or too. So it's like Uber janitorial works or basically skip work in that sense as well too. And like we had to actually fight long and hard to actually keep the janitorial staff that we had, but we did have to cut the person that would work the night shift as work too, because we do have a third shift that works our plants as work too. And like I was saying, I just got my W-2. I realized that like I gross $73,000 a year in the past year in 2023. Uh, but yet, like in order to do so, I kind of like even like realized that like in order to like gross that much this past year, I had to like work of was it over 1,000 hours? Yeah, it was over 1,000 hours of overtime. So like, assuming I do like 40 hours a week, and assuming that there's 52 weeks in the year, that's actually like 51 and a half, whatever. That like, in order to make gross like 73,000 hours that I did, I had to like work at the 1,100 hours of overtime in order to get that much because I'm only paid $19.18 an hour my regular pay. But like when you work overtime, you get time and a half. And so, doing the math from that, it's like, okay, if assume that I only make that same gross income of $72,000, but only working 48 hours a week, I had to like be paid $35 an hour to like make that much. And if I only work 40 hours a week, oh my god, I would have so much time to like just like do streaming and like play Fortnite or like do other things as well. So I also do more YouTube stuff as well too. I would regularly be doing like Twitch streamings where I'm like reading or YouTube streamings and that sort of thing too, where I'm like reading finished reading David Graeber's Direct Action Economic or reading other books on David Graeber, stuff like that. And that's okay, Mithra, that you're not on Discord as well too. Yeah, and yeah, Archie likes to destroy things as well too. I mean, I guess because Archie cannot destroy capitalism, so Archie's just like it's a special boy that like finds out that if it fits you sits and like yeah what's going to say that shady companies that have genders too, yeah, but like most of them have like outsourced them to like contract companies. No, yeah, Boyd has outsourced contract companies as well too. And so but also just randomly gonna like figure out just in like in a 4 month period between like August and like December of last year, I gave away about like $10,816 that they made to like various different people. Phoenix wanted them, Joanna, Joey, anyone that needs it at the time. There's many other people as well too. Nesneko and Lenoquin, I've gave money to them. So assuming that like that in that 4 month period of like I've given like $10,816, and that's the same for like the rest of the quarters or the 4 month periods actually quarters like 3 months as well too, instead of like 4 months. Yeah, I've given up like $32,448 to like various people, and that's out of like 73,000 that I made gross in the last year. So pretty much about 45% of the money that I make and gross, not nets. No, it is net actually. The taxes are taken out or withheld for me. But so it's net. So 45% of what I make, I give out to like people in need as well too. So yeah, it's like not that anyone here says that or anyone I've met recently says that as well too. But yeah, people would say it's like, oh, but like billionaires are so generous and so charitable, so like that. Look at the millions of dollars that they make, so like that. Okay, but does Bill Gates or like all those other people give away 45% of what they make in like a year? because that's what I do, and I'm not poor as shit, but it's like I'm working class. So like, how generous are those billionaires are when they still have like several hundreds of billions, as it were, and yet like uh yeah, they can easily donate more money than me and stuff like that, but they don't. But they what they donate, if they donate, is like barely anything matching to what's like they earn in a year. It's just a rant I go on sometimes when people defend the billionaires defend the system as it is. So like it's but it's like philanthropy is much different than charity as it were too. Because philanthropy, that's rich people like still maintaining the positions of power, still maintaining their ownership of the companies, and then they would also like they'll do it sneakily where they will donate to their own funds, like the Bill Gates Foundation, for example, and can yet it's a tax write off for them, and then like if they can be look like a charitable person as it were, but still like make all those sorts of money, and also like with like stuff like the Gates Foundation, it's kind of like have like strangely enough a whole lot of power and influence in like the medical field when Bill Gates is not a medical doctor. He's just a computer programmer. What the fuck do he knows about medicine? So yeah, and I read a whole.
Yeah, I'm
Go ahead.
not the biggest fan of billionaires necessarily. I don't see myself ever becoming a billionaire. I don't necessarily want to work hard to become one, although that's kind of
Yeah.
like although billionaires technically didn't really work hard, but you know.
That's
So
so hard that that like 100 million times like harder than the rest of us, honestly.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mean,
it's
I'm pretty like I wouldn't like I put it this way, like I wouldn't like want to go like I don't think we should like take Taylor Swift some money away from her. I don't think we should do any of that, but I guess the question is for me as someone who is a custodian, why do people who have like jobs like that, whether it's a custodian or a chef or like any public server or a public servant, why do they make so little money compared to like an NFL player? Even though the custodian is much more important than the football player, but we pay the football player more than we excuse me than we play we pay the custodian, and then the retort to that would be, well, why don't you just find a job that's not custodial? And then it's like, well, a lot of people want to, but they can't because
mhm.
they don't have the right experience or like so I just don't know why we pay celebrities more than we pay public servants. I that to me is the greatest question in like capitalism that capitalists have not really answered to me in a good way. They've never like explained why certain people should be paid more than others, despite the people getting paid less are the ones doing the most important jobs. Now, of
Again,
course, that's not to pew pew on celebrities, but
mm,
there needs to be a system where I'm not necessarily saying people like celebrities shouldn't get money for doing their stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying why why do public servants get paid less than a football player? Like it just doesn't make any sense. But maybe that's just me. I don't know.
what actually David Graeber talks about this in like both jobs. Like he originally kind of pointed this out in like his original essay, both on the phenomenon of both jobs and rant, because he like reconnected with like someone he like that was friends with in like high school or middle school, and he was a musician, an indie rock star for a indie rock musician for a bit. He even like, oh wait, I recognize those at the songs he played. But and then he was a opponent for a while, but then he got a child and had to do the practical thing and get a real job, a corporate lawyer. And to which like is a David Graeber said it right out, is because the 1% of the population that like owns and controls and means production, something like that, they clearly value corporate lawyers a lot more than like poets and like musicians as well too. And he expands on that in the book Bullshit Jobs of the Theory, because like the idea is for like civil servants, like teachers is a great example, is like what, you want to be paid for being a teacher, but you're doing like the reward should be teaching of itself. You should be like grateful that you have a job to be able to teach and stuff like that. What, you want to be paid for that? It's like they want to be paid to be able to live.
Well,
Which
yeah, we have to live. Well, yeah, of course we need to be paid. How do you expect us to live?
until we abandon the idea of cost of living, period, as it were, too. But that's not happening anytime soon.
Yeah,
They're not
until we
building the
get there,
system.
sure. But what about it? But in the interim, I got a soda. In the interim, I mean, can we have a system where people or like teachers and people are getting? I actually say teachers should be paid just as much as celebrities. I'm just saying.
No, no, they won't be.
They won't be.
Basically, under capitalism, jobs that need to be done won't get paid because they're the jobs that need to be done. People will recognize they have to be done, and so they'll do them. It's the unnecessary jobs that get the pay because those are the ones where they have to pay you to do it because otherwise nobody would do that.
Well,
Yeah.
oh, or you could just pay those people a good wage so they could do their jobs and
No,
not.
no, that's just not how it works.
I mean, it's a better system. Wouldn't you
It
agree?
would be, but that's not going to happen. And the liberal ideology would be, why do celebrities get paid more? It's because they have talent that other people don't. Only one person can be a rock star. That's not true, but anyone can be a janitor. Basically, it's eugenics.
Not really.
Some
Yeah.
people are just better, and that's why they get paid more.
Okay, well, I
It's
mean,
it's it's disgusting, but it's baked into liberalism.
like I'm sure
Yeah.
Taylor Swift is a very talented person. I don't know if she could build a space station like I can.
Okay, but like here's the thing too. That I always like bring up, and other leftists always bring up. There are probably other Taylor Swifts are out there, other people that are talented in music as well too. But the reason we'll never know about these kind of people that are also musicians or also great inventors or also can like build a rocket ship as well too, because they're for their entire existence in life they have to like make a living, so they're scraping the bottom the factory floor, cleaning it up because that's the only job that's available in their area.
Yeah. Well, it's like, see, you guys know that I'm a huge space nerd, right?
Yes, it's very obvious.
And you know that there's a good chance that I probably will never go to space, which is okay. I'm just wondering why can I not work at the Kennedy Space I don't know. Like
It,
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 You're a
that's again,
security risk. You're a communist. You would sell all the
there's
space
that.
secrets to the Russians.
I
Uh,
okay.
well also sometimes like people there a lot of times it's like there's not jobs in the area too, and like when the economy of the area is just like down and there's nothing to like prop it up as well too, the area just like dies. Mill towns across like the country just die if like the mills like are no longer working. Mine towns where it's just like that too, if like if the mine's not like being operated on or being worked or make profits for like the mining company as work too, the town just like economy just dies like that. This and those type. And yet the liberal response to that, or even the conservative response for that, is like move to where there's jobs. And it's like, yeah, easy for you to say. Can you pay me? Can you give me
Yeah.
money so I can move for
You
so
find me
because
an
the Euro
apartment
truck costs something.
that's under like a grand.
Mm,
Wait, can you find me an apartment that's like 500 a month? You can't? Shut up. Then shut up.
yeah. And it's just like Taylor Swift can make music as word too, and like some people, I guess the reason why some people, including Steve Shives, believes that like a few billionaires is okay, because they think that like there'll be some people that are talented enough, are popular enough that can make $1 billion, because like Stephen King has like sold 1 billion books as word too, and probably got $1 for each of those sales, assuming if that's the case. And it's like, well, maybe, but like I still wouldn't like the idea of billionaires being around, period, or at least there being a class system as it were too, where there's like the rich people and everyone else, because like of the power that like someone who's like rich can exist. I just read out the primal screen about broken like Chromebook. Yeah, I feel that. Phoenix. And I don't know where I was going for that too. It's just like but it's like, yeah, Taylor Swift can like make music, that's fine, but like be a billionaire for that too. And I don't know. I don't know if like
Taylor Swift should not be able to fuck up the economy of Baltimore by showing up.
Yeah.
Elon Musk should not be able to dictate policy to the United States just because he happened to be born to slave owners.
Yeah. And the emerald mine and all, with like emeralds in his like a pillowcase.
Pretty cool.
I'm sorry, didn't you hear that? What did you say, Isaiah?
I didn't know that she can control an economy like that. That's pretty awesome.
Well, no, I mean just someone like Taylor Swift or Beyonce showing up in a town. It causes fans to come there. It totally jacks up traffic and hotels and all that stuff. And they're bringing in money. It's bringing in disruption.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, a city like Baltimore, it's a big suburb of DC. But the fact is, she'll bring in 50,000 extra people, and that's a huge disruption.
Yeah, that's true. So no wonder she doesn't come to Tallahassee. She'll go to Orlando, sure, but not Tallahassee.
Well, Tallahassee's a garbage city.
Isaiah, what's there in Tallahassee, honestly?
There really is nothing, honestly.
Exactly, it's a state capital. Every state capital is a garbage city for garbage people.
Yeah, except for the politicians. There's some rare times where it's like the state capital is like the biggest city in that state, but maybe because like however there's nothing in that state anyway.
Looking at you, Lansing, Michigan.
They're always chosen to be central. They're not naturally located cities.
Yeah. Now, Lansing has Detroit as least as well too. No,
I mean, Arizona at least has Phoenix. I think Arizona might be the only one, but Phoenix is also a garbage city. I lived there, therefore, definitionally, it's not a place that's good.
Well, there's many states that don't have like a major city period as well too. So like the state capital is like the closest thing to like a major city, like Lincoln, Nebraska, Boise, Idaho, for example.
Helena, Montana.
Yeah, exactly. Helena, Montana.
Atlanta, Georgia. Don't get Atlanta.
Oh, what does your caseworker do, Phoenix?
Caseworker is basically like it's not giving. The caseworker is not giving Phoenix like their temporary disability assistance program, the TDAP, because like she's asking for money from people as well too, or has a Patreon, and so it's like if like they're doing that as well too.
Yeah, that's why means testing is bullshit, because it means that anybody the second you start to get above water, you fall back below. It's
many recipients of SSI as well has like hates the like assets limit thing. I do have friends who's like so the caseworker closed their TPA. So everyone, please give money to Phoenix if you can, because like they need all the help that they can get. And unfortunately, I just checked my credit cards and my bank as well too. I'm pretty much tapped out until like the second as well too. So like if I am able to give money, I have to like take it from like my brother's like a joint banking account as well too. But like my older brother knows those transactions and doesn't want me to like do that. Yeah, so like Phoenix had to close their Patreon is like and that was for nothing, because like still did not get like the TDAP. And yeah, it's just okay. Well, hold on, Phoenix. You said you're a garbage city. Who are you saying that to? I know you're
me. I'm a garbage city.
I can agree with that. I mean, also in South Carolina, what major city is there in South Carolina? In like North
Charleston,
Carolina,
the slave market. They still have Market Street.
Columbia.
They have the capital of Columbia. There's Greenville. There's Spartanburg. These are all very small cities. The city of New York is twice the size of South Carolina, twice the population.
Yep. And yet the capital of New York is Albany. But yeah. Just so cruel. Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
There was like a comic that like one of my friends shared where it's just like as a person who's begging for money, it's like that. Why are you begging for money? Like you got like a car, is what too. Yeah, I use it to like be able to sleep in. It's like the only place I have. But if you sell that car, you can like get some food. Okay, so he sells the car. All right, you give me another food. What's that in your hand? You have an iPhone. This one that it's a way I can communicate with people and my loved ones and like that. But you should sell that like for just get food. Okay, so then he sells the iPhone. This word too. Finally, he has like said, okay, I sold my car. I sold my iPhone. I sold all those things he told me to sell so I can get food. I need food again. Can you now give me money for like food? This word too. No, I was. No, I'm not giving you money for food and stuff like that. It's just like it's the whole thing of shaming poor people for just having anything as a word too, as if like they're not supposed to have those things or like they can use it to like get food, but it's one time. This is like a one time thing. I just have yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's unfortunate to hear that. Like, means that you're in a bad headspace, because like, yeah, capitalism just exacerbates a lot of these problems as well too, forcing us to have to survive in order to like live as well too.
Just remember the cruelty is the point. Um,
Yeah.
it's not personal. That doesn't help, but it's.
Yeah. knowing that like and knowing that it's not someone's like fault, it's not Phoenix's fault for the situation that they're in, still doesn't like help the fact that like their situation is as it is.
Yeah.
Uh,
And there's another answer for you, Zaya. Why people who do necessary work don't get paid? Because the people who do the necessary work are the good people. The people who do the unnecessary work are the bad people. No, I shouldn't say that. they're not all bad. Elon Musk is bad.
Tragedy.
But it's in order to justify why some people have more and some people have less, they've built in a theory of morality that poor people deserve it because they're just bad people. It
So
goes
I'm just-
alongside the eugenics.
I'm just a bad person.
Yeah, that's what they think.
Okay.
Not only are you poor, you're also brown. So you got third strike if you had some sort of like neurodivergence or if you were gay.
Oh, folks.
yep, you're. That's no charge against you. Just tell me everything I wasted my younger years on was for nothing. I wasted my younger years on playing poker, but then again, I did have fun doing that as well too.
I spent mine
yeah.
drinking, so.
You're still alive though.
Yep.
It's I don't know. It's there's what was also one. I had some other thoughts on like related to the conversation or your as well. Oh, another thing is like the reason why I thought. I think the reason why like necessary work also gets like paid. I should have just had fun without shame, and now that's over. Yeah, it's a lot of people have like those midlife crises, so try to like reclaim their youth and like that, have fun again too. But they have the money to like do that, like the Ferrari sort of thing.
Then they also have the white penises to do that.
Yep, exactly. The privileges in society to be able to do that as well too. So will Zoomers be able to do that as well too?
Their midlife crisis will be moving out of the basement and into an upstairs bedroom.
No, sorry, Phoenix. No, sorry.
No, sorry. No, you have a right to feel bad about your situation because it's an unpleasant situation.
Yeah. It's okay to share that theory, like invented here, because like pretty much just like a show is it has converted into like a form of like a group therapy as well.
Mm-hmm. Pain shared isn't pain lessened, but it is shared, and getting that commiseration can help.
It's and in knowing that like you're not alone and having an outlet to express this as well too. I hope it helps honestly as well too. But like the necessary work doesn't get paid as much as well too. It's because like again the capitalists value like corporate wars a lot more than like actual necessary work like teachers and nurses. But also it's just like they don't want those the people to be they just generally don't want those people to be rich and stuff like that. They don't want the janitors to be as well off as they are too, because they see it, or like fast food workers for a good example, because they see those people as lesser as well too. And there's also like bullshit thing. It's like, oh, those are entry level jobs. Like so jobs, the entry level jobs are supposed to like basically they think it's like high school students that are doing those kind of jobs too.
It's middle-aged people working 2 jobs.
I've seen like old people working at McDonald's, so that's not true.
They tell you that, Phoenix. It is not.
Yeah. The society as a whole, and sometimes our individual people, like our parents or our family members, or something like that. Joanna Roberts sometimes gets too. It's like, this is why you should learn how to save your money. It's like her Joanna Roberts' expense is like $2,200 a month, and she only gets $1,200 a month. So how can she save money if she just doesn't have enough money to be able to live? So too, it's a lot of bullshit in this like system as well too. It's the neoliberalism is personal responsibility. It's just like no. How is it? If my rent goes up by $200, unlike in the year, how is it my personal responsibility? How was I at fault for like my rent going up by $200 a year as it did 5 years ago? It should have, I should have like done something different. Yeah, but the thing is, like, what is that something? And sometimes we don't know what is that something, or like this is what many people have said: you just play the hands that you're dealt with. Like, I play poker. Listen. If you're dealt with shitty cards, sometimes there's something you can do. You just have to fold them.
No, what they're saying is that if you're a bad person, you should lie and steal from other people. That's how poker works.
Poker's not a card game; it's a betting game. It's a value betting game, and you like what you're placing the value on is your cards and so on. That whether you have the hand or not. Blah. Yeah. I could go on that on poker because we're at 20 poker books and like.
If you gamble, you're either a sucker or a con. That's it.
Actually.
What was that, Isaiah?
I've actually never played poker. Actually.
I find it quite fun. It's a very interesting challenge. It's a game of hidden information, as well as with the randomization factor, which is why some people play it, because like they can win. No, it's true. Anyone can like win a hand of poker at any given time because of the randomization factor of it. Can people like win long term in the long run? That's where like skill does come into it. I thought it was like called bluffing as well too. Yes, exactly.
Basically, the best poker players are the ones with the backwards baseball hats and the sunglasses.
I did actually.
And also they're men for some reason, because when a woman bluffs, that's somehow different from when a man bluffs. I remember there was a big controversy a few years ago. Months? Weeks? Years. A woman bluffed and won, and people were upset.
Chris Josty shared a clip from the poker table, like the woman. Wow, that was like that was a kind of impressive hand, because she just thought, and she was honest that like she thought the other player, the man, had nothing, and she did have just Jack 4 or something like that, but like it's probably because like the context of the hands before is that the guy was like betting a lot of hands or buffering a lot of hands, and he had just had 8-7. Now he was drawing to a straight and a flush too, so there was that. So there was like some odds in his favor, something like that. But like she won that big pot in the real cash game money tournament this were too, which is Jack 4 as well too. But like you could see it on this guy's face. That's like, I lost to Jack 4. But it's like, you can like say it in your head as well too, because he probably is thinking, I lost to a woman with Jack 4 or something like that. It's like she was.
Well, right. You can't necessarily. You can infer that in his face. Yes. You can definitely see it in the fucking fans.
Oh yes, yes. The fact that it's like it was like a poker player back when I listened to the 2+2 poker cast, 2+2 the publishing house that like published a lot of books, and they have like forums so on too, that like there was like a person who finally just came out as like openly gay as well too. It was kind of like almost a story, which is why he was like a guest on like 2+2 PokerCast. But he was a poker player because he wanted to world his poker bracelet. But he's like, you're the first gay person I ever met. I don't have any gay friends. So like, well, you just met me, so I could be your first gay friend. So yeah, it's never a personal responsibility. The companies need to pay more for like labor when the market demands it. Yeah, yeah, Phoenix. I know. I want you to be happy too, as well too. Um.
Where can I donate to Phoenix?
I
I'll
don't think
copy
you
a link.
can anymore. They're oh wait, no, they have the they don't have they do have a GoFundMe. They don't have the
Hold on. I'm just gonna copy the message that I put into the live chat, Isaiah. I put it into the Zoom group chat as well too. So there's the Cash App, which is like a Luna Firebird 87, Vimeo Lunar Firebird 87, and there's Phoenix's coffee link too, Lunar Firebird on coffee as well too, Ko-fi. So though you have options to donate to Phoenix like there, and again, donate whatever you can afford to as well too. Don't I wish sometimes I do wish that people would be like me, where it's just like figure out like how much like money I can literally give away to people and do that, charge up my credit cards to their max limit and sell, or like deplete my checking account except for like if there's a upcoming charge that's going to hit the checking account or my credit card, something like that, and then do it all again once I get paid is worth too. But like I don't know. I'm willing to. I've just accepted. I'm going to forever have like at least $25,000 worth of credit card debt. I don't know, maybe more. Only if I get the increased credit limits on my two credit cards for now. So I've also accepted I'm never going to own a home because I'm a millennial in this economy is where I also accepted probably will never ever retire or so like that unless communism happens. But my retirement plan is communism or death. And so, is forever having credit card debt is also something that I'm just emotionally preparing myself to accept that's always the thing. I'm always going to live in an apartment. What do you say, Isaiah?
Give me communism or give me death.
Yes.
No, I immediately went to Mel Brooks' History of the World Part 1.
Mm-hmm. Give me immortality or give me death.
No, it was Hump or Death. No, It's Good to Be the King.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Hump or Death, Communism or Death. Communism or death, communism or death, communism or death. And then the pretty woman says, communism.
Mm-hmm. One of the things I just want to quickly mention, a bit of change in the subject as well too. But it's because in past shows I've mentioned about the Twitch changing rules a couple of times, and now they finally changed the rules again. This was actually about a month ago or something like that. But basically, they finally have changed the rules on the new meta as what it was. Because people were complaining about women being topless on stream and stuff like that, and even though those women were correctly labeling their streams to be for mature audiences because sexual content is worth too, and apparently was within Twitch's rules at that time, it's just listen, people, that woman, she's still streaming and still has to entertain her audience as well too. She just happens to be either topless or implied that she is topless because where the camera is. You got top boob as it were too. No nipple cells. Can't show the nipples.
Top boob? You mean clavicles?
Just a little cleavage. Yeah, basically clavicles as well. It's just
it's exactly the same as issues wearing a tube top or a t-shirt
mm-hmm.
or
mm-hmm.
a 19th century ball gown.
Yeah. But because you don't know, it's it's fine. So they finally did change the rules where it's no, you have to actually not only it's no partial nudity or something like that, and cover the breasts and nipples and genitals and something like that, or you apparently some people might have been doing this, or at least they're making this rule. So no, you can't do this. You cannot cover breasts or genitals with objects or sensor bars or too. So you cannot self-censor yourself.
So you can't cover your nipples with clothing because that's just self-censorship.
And they were cracking down on basically the implied nudity on the side because when they changed the rules months ago and allowed for at least just 2 days artistic nudity, it was so that okay, now that any stream that is marked for mature audiences for sexual content but also drug use and violence and gore, those streams will not show up on the front page of Twitch. They thought that would fix the thing. However,
We're-
if anyone just yeah,
Here,
however,
let's go ahead and I can read it out. We're updating the entire portion of our community guidelines to prohibit implied nudity while streaming on Twitch. This update is in response to a recent meta on Twitch in which streamers use black sensor bars or other items to block their bodies or clothing or position the camera frame such that the viewer is led to believe that the streamer is fully or partially nude. While most streamers have laid this content appropriately with the sexual themes label and are wearing clothing behind the object or outside the camera frame, for many users, the thumbnails of this content can be disruptive to their experience on Twitch.
oh my god, I see top boob.
While content labeled with the sexual themes label isn't displayed on the homepage, this content is displayed within the category browse directories, and we recognize that many users frequent these pages to find content on Twitch. This update goes into effect today. For those areas of the bodies where the coverage is required, the coverage must be fully opaque. Sheer or partially see-through clothing does not constitute coverage. Note also that streamers must appropriately categorize their content. For example, streamers that use the attire exception that is granted when streaming near a pool or a hot tub are expected to use the pools, hot tubs, and beaches category when classifying this content. Well, at times we simply reclassify the streams into the appropriate category. That would cost money. Repeated failure to appropriately classify a stream will lead to enforcement action.
Yeah. So
Basically,
again,
no female presenting nipples.
Yeah.
No hinting at the possibility of female presenting nipples below the screen.
Yeah,
And they don't have a not safe for work for option, I don't think. It sounds like sexual means the possibility of sexuality existing, not actual porn.
Yeah, and many people have wished that that Twitch, just like to Twitter and just like with Tumblr, I know there are like sites, co-host even has an option for 18 plus, where it's just like, this is 18 plus. You have to be 18 years old. Or older.
Honestly, Twitch and OnlyFans should just merge, so that Belle Delphine can make that money.
Yeah, exactly. And now many I have been in conversations with this as well too, and even many streamers are marked their streams as 18 plus and just taken it upon themselves to, like, if someone's mentioned that I'm 17 or I'm 13, they just outright ban that person. And they also said this was ridiculous. One person actually said, if you are under 18, you cannot like chat in my chats and you cannot watch my stream. Here's the thing.
People lie.
Well, there's that, but like, and I'm just putting that aside because, like, yeah, it's all going off the honor system anyway. Of like people either not telling their age, or people like saying that they're 18 or over so that they can say. And honestly, it's like if you do like make your stream 18 plus and ban people who are under 18, there's always to be the chance that you get teenagers in your place anyway, because like there will be people that the teenagers that will enter your place will be the ones that lie. But also it's just like Twitch does not give the power to restrict the viewers who are watching into streamers, except for if the streamer is sponsored by a beer company, or the channel is the Bud Light channel, the beer company itself. And that's because of the strict laws in the USA, where you cannot advertise people drinking to people under the age of 21 as well too. So Twitch does have the power to like restrict certain streams to be like 18 plus or 21 plus in the case of the beer sponsor things and that sort of thing too. But they do not give that power to like everyone on Twitch. It's only for specific like channels like the Bud Light channel or streamers that happen to be like big enough, honestly, and sponsored by a beer company. That's the only time that those powers to be able to restrict the viewership is actually there. Otherwise, like what Twitch streamers do when they say 18 plus, or sometimes they don't say 18 plus, but it's implied, or they believe that because they mark their streams for mature audiences, that does in fact make it 18 plus. And I disagree with that. That they have the right to ban people that are like under the age of 17. Granted, I guess you can just ban people for whatever reason as well, but I don't think I wonder if it's like basically ageism to ban people from viewing your channel if they're under 18 or if they're under 18. And I still have not heard a good argument for why it's okay for like the Twitch streamers to like do that as well too, restrict their audience like that, because every time it's like they don't want the constant questions from like teenagers, or like they don't want to bother like parenting the teenagers too, or it's for the protection of the teenagers because I've like been that kid that like watched something I shouldn't have, and then my parents yelled at me, so I don't want that to happen to like anyone that's viewing in my stream as well too. It's like if the person has like shitty parents, that's them having shitty parents. You can't protect them. But like the people also like look at terms and services, and because like you have to be at least 13 to have a Twitch account, but it's like if you're 13 or if you're not yet 18 or not yet the age of legal majority in your jurisdiction, as where the assumption is that like you got that Twitch account with parents' permission and parents' guidance, or guardian guidance or guardian's permission, as were. So the Twitch streamers that are 18 plus streamers or have their audience be 18 plus are assuming that like the parents right there behind the teenager, the child, watching the streams as well too. And if they see, oh sorry, little Timmy, you can't watch this stream, it's 18 plus, then the child is not allowed to watch that thing too. I honestly don't think that's happening regularly. No, if the parents are actively like seeing what their children are viewing and stuff like that, that's actually a good attentive parent, or maybe to tell.
I don't know about you, but I don't spend all my time staring at my cat. I assume children are even more boring than a cat.
Yeah. I would also because I'm here in Florida, because of course Florida. They're trying to do something kind of similar. So they just passed a bill like in the Capitol a few blocks from my house, mind you, about kids. Like what they're trying to do is they're trying to ban social media for kids that are like 16 or under that. Like
honestly. I kind of approve of that, just because of how toxic, shitty, evil, and damaging social media is.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think they should just nationalize Facebook. And change the way the algorithm... and nationalize YouTube. And Twitter and Twitch. But
see, here's the problem. It's like, yeah, and they're not going to do that, obviously, but it's like, yeah, but like, why not... But it's like the way I'm looking at it is because like whenever conservatives do something, it's always like a double like more than meets the eye, right? It's always more than meets the eye. Yeah, like for example, like Georgia just passed a law about anti-Semitism. It has nothing to do with anti-Semitism. It's all about saying it's all about basically propping up Israel over the Palestinians. So like. So, you know...
Because them, anti-Semitism is actually anti-Christian eschatology.
Right.
But, and just like the Stop Woke Act had nothing to do with being woke, it had everything to do with being a reactionary bigot.
Yeah, being a white trash piece of garbage, because you don't want to learn...
Hey, don't insult white trash. Just because they're poor and white doesn't mean they're bad. It's voting Republican that makes you a bad person.
Well, I'm poor, I'm trash, I don't vote Republican.
See, and you're also white on the inside.
No, but it's...
No. I shouldn't say that, that's...
Yeah.
Sorry.
Again, with social media, it's like... the social media can suck, but why not do any, like, why not help children when it comes to, like, mass shooters? Why not do anything about
because
that?
Mass shooters don't make people not vote Republican, but sharing information does.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course...
The problem is that reality has a well-known liberal bias.
And too is like if you ban social media, you also ban TikTok, I guess. So, and TikTok is like giving us like a different view of the whole.
TikTok is communism because it's run by China, and China is communism.
They are.
Yes, it's the Democratic People's Republic. So communist.
They don't look communist.
They're not. They're not actually communist, but according to liberalism, Well, according to nationalism, they're communism, and communism is anti-American, and anti-American is anti-capitalism, and that's communism.
Mm-hmm.
They call themselves communist, and that's good enough. Any stick is good enough to beat a dog.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yeah. Let's see.
Taylor Swift is communism, but that's because she's a woman.
Yeah.
Like Charlie Kirk getting mad about Taylor. Like, what triggered on and to get mad about Taylor Swift? I don't.
Vaginas are communism.
The-
Because they're all about sharing space. Oh, Jesus.
Sharing space doesn't just mention a woman's vagina. That was not that was accidental. That was just like happenstances were. But again, what some of the strange things that we say on this show.
I think it, I say it. That's how I work.
Yeah. You know, there's one I think I said most I said about like the Twitch change rule things, and also about like the 18+ thing is like go on a whole rant about that than I have before. But anyway, one other thing I want to like mention, well, just kind of like ask this a bit, change the topics. Where, how many of you have like heard of the game Pow Worlds?
Pow Worlds? No.
Yeah. It's a game that apparently like they sold 8 million copies within like 6 days as well too. It's like it's a viral game. I see a lot of Twitch streamers like
Pow World. Okay.
Pow Worlds. Yeah. How people describe it? It's Pokemon with guns. But the like,
yeah, I see the Pokemon aspect. There's lots of critters, and that's definitely a Pikachu-inspired guy. And that's a chicken, and that's a sheep.
Yes, but like the gameplay mechanics is where it's like it's more
survival and crafting. So it's Minecraft Pokemon with guns.
It's more like Ark Survival Evolved, but with like Pokemon like monsters instead of like dinosaurs as well too. It's.
I mean, just looking at the preview video, they're definitely playing on the Pokemon vibe.
Yeah.
It'll be on stream in about 30 seconds for you two. But yeah, that's not Charizard. That's the fiery bird, flame chicken. But yeah, they're definitely doing. There we go. Yep. See, there's the Pikachu up top. Pocket pair. Oh, and they're even going with that Pokemon means pocket monsters.
Yep. And you actually capture those monsters.
And there's the Pikachu, and there's the fancy deer, and there's the fish that turns into a dragon, and there's the Squirtle, not Squirtle.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Squirtle. No, that's a desert wood. Anyway, but the point is, they're definitely, absolutely ripping off Pokemon, and you know what? More power to them. Steal from the rich.
Now, what's interesting is that, like, apparently in the gameplay as well, so it's like just like in Ark Survival Evolved and stuff like that, and like in Power World, you actually throw a Pokeball or throw a ball at them, to capture them as well too, and then
you capture them with your detachable testicle. That's what that is. Everything spherical is a testicle. Everything not spherical is a penis. Okay, Freud taught us this.
Yeah, Freud. But like. I intentionally.
The Titanic was a penis.
About that, yeah.
The International Space Station is a very weird testicle.
It's all like Ark Survival Evolved in that like the monsters you capture you can then put to work. The mining, crafting. Sometimes you can like.
Wow, that is so capitalism.
Hell yeah!
The monsters you capture, you can put to work. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and so you can have them as mounts, so you can ride them, or you can use them as gliders if they have that ability as well too. But yeah, you can. Put them to
stop
work
making it
fine.
sexual. That's just creepy.
But yes, you can make them put to work to like mine stuff more. And what gets like some people even creeped out about is apparently humanoid like creatures in Power World that look like humans that you captured with Pokemon.
Oh, did the metaphor become too real? I'm sorry.
Yes, you actually enslave them. So you have enslaved humans.
You have thinking, speaking creatures, and it's okay to make them slaves until they look a little bit too much like your little brother?
Yeah, exactly. So some people like have probably an issue with that. But like I kind of was also heard a couple of things, and I wanted to kind of like ask around is like, what's your opinions on Power World? And like some people have mentioned is that like the developer of like Power World has also worked on games with AI art, and I have my issues on AI art as well because like it's just like. If you are a scrappy like a 5-person like indie gaming studio, you're trying to make ends meet and push out your game. I can see
The rendering is the hardest part. I get it.
I can see use AI generated art for that.
The problem is it's all scraped and stealing from real artists.
Exactly. So, and I think that's what the AR game that they developed before was kind of like too, where you're trying to guess the AR art or something like that, and that sort of thing too. But someone had pointed this out to me too. Is like, oh, this developer was the developer of Power Wars was also a big crypto bro as well too. Like believe in NFTs and something like that was part of that craze. Is like, oh, okay. So yeah, I don't think I want to like play Power World because like that kind of thing too. But I think like and the IGN has a good article going into it about like how this looked like they are just ripping off Pokemon as well too. And here's the thing: I remember like there are other games that are basically at least the mechanics of Pokemon have been used before. There's 1010 is unabashedly kind of like a Pokemon-like style game, but no one has made any comparisons to Pokemon in that sense or too, because it seems like the art for 1010 in the world and stuff like that is unique to 1010 as well too. It's not like it's aping off of like Pokemon as well too. Cassette Beasts is also like a good game that came out, but you look at the art of Cassette Beasts and like the only way you can confuse Cassette Beasts for like Pokemon is to, like you never touch a video game before and have no idea what a Pokemon is, let alone what is Cassette Beasts. Those games have
wait, now I'm confused. Something made my kid gay? That's what Pokemon did. Pokemon transed my child. Groomers. They're literally groomers.
Yeah. So now the thing is like
I was satanic back in the day. Remember that?
yeah, the Satanic Panic is word. And, like Dungeons and Dragons are just like turning like kids into devil worshippers and like.
I can understand Dungeons and Dragons, but why was Pokemon labeled satanic?
Probably because something had horns. Or no. Actually, wait, no. I'm sorry. I think I figured it out. It's because it was something that middle-aged white men weren't doing.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's popular enough that like it takes you away from the path of Jesus, as where it's like.
If you spend money on something that isn't church, yeah, there you go.
Although technically speaking, religion is like Pokemon because it's like saying it's like
You throw your balls at small things and then capture them and enslave them. Yeah.
Well, in a way, yeah. It's like because the way Christians look at it is like everyone should become a Christian. So technically speaking, it's kind of like Pokemon. You got to get as many Pokemon that you can, right? So it's the same. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know where this.
Well, the Christians were like capturing like and like using like pagan rituals for their own gains as well too. Look, we have similar things. You have like winter solstice sort of thing too. It's Christmas. You have like
you light a tree on fire. We light the tree on fire because Jesus.
Yes. This like spring thing. We have our own thing of Easter, which is when Jesus dies.
Actually, Pesach, or Easter as we call it in English, that was based on a Jewish tradition. So they didn't, which of course, there was Babylonian, the Bronze Age, it wasn't, there's history.
Yes.
They didn't steal that from the Celts. They stole Yule from the Norsemen.
Yes.
But the thing is, the really shitty thing is, they could have stolen the Saturnalia. That would have been awesome. Giant public orgy. That would be great. For some people.
Christians weren't always like puritanical, as were definitely the Christians that came to the USA and found the USA by stealing from the indigenous people's lands and like enslaving black people to build the USA. They were definitely the puritanical ones who wouldn't be in favor of orgies for sure. Only very select few only behind closed doors or in secret societies would they at least do wipe swapping as were too. I wouldn't. Yeah.
Well, Saturnalia was more a public drunken festival. They would go out and just get crazy, and that sometimes included sex. But they were kind of discreet about the sex, meaning that they took it a little way off the street.
Yeah. And there was Mardi Gras, but like that's actually around like the Christianity because like it's Fat Tuesday before Ash Wednesday because like you have to fast because of like one time Jesus walked through the desert for 40 days and 40 nights.
Yep. So you have Lent, then you have the feast, and then you have the oh my God, Jesus died, and then you have the Friday, and then you have the Sunday. And then they realized that Friday plus 3 actually equals Monday, and it's a mystery.
The calendars worked very differently back then. I will give them that. If that was the case, I don't know.
No. It was always. I mean, there are 7 objects visible in the sky to the naked eye, apart from the stars. So 7 days. 7 days. 7 days. It's not just because it's a prime number, though that helps, but because, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Gives you 7 planets, 7 objects in the sky. So
my mom just sent me 9 pizzas.
Well, but Earth doesn't count because you can't see it in the sky. It's the opposite of the sky.
Oh, and also notice that we also live on Earth, too, so we don't kind of either.
Yeah.
All right. So the communist joke about number go up?
I think so.
It's kind of a meme that communism only cares that number goes up, or not communism. Capitalism only cares that number goes up. It doesn't actually care about making the world a good place for people. I'm going to go ahead and share this shit. Got so much shit open.
Yeah.
So that you guys can hear it at the same time. Oh, nope, that made things freak out. So I'll just go ahead and move that over here. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
Okay. So, capitalism only cares that number goes up. Stephen Colbert, a few days ago, I just saw this, and he made himself that meme. Let's see if this works. Can you hear it?
Quarter. Now, what does that mean? Well, it's a little technical, but according to macroeconomic theory...
Okay, you guys can't hear it. They can. Darn. According to macroeconomic theory...
Number go up equal good.
Number go up equal good.
Yeah, I can at least see the subtitles.
Yeah. Oops, I'll stop sharing screen. Pause share. No, that's more... End. No, I don't want to end the meeting. I want to stop sharing. God damn it. Resume new share. God damn it, how do I stop sharing? There we go, stop share. There's the button.
Technology. Also, I noticed this like after this you try to Patreon Hangouts, well at the bottom of Zoom as it were too. AI companion. What the fuck is that?
That looks like porn, so I'm gonna go ahead and click on that. Enable third-party models provide AI companion services. Invitees will be able to ask questions about the meeting to AI companion. Oh, it's not porn.
No, it's just chat. You can just add chat GPT one.
It's a chat thing. Darn. I mean, it's the internet. Everything should be porn.
You guys think about porn more than I do.
Well, I'm a horny piece of shit. I'm a middle-aged man. What can I say?
Well,
Yeah.
oh my, but I don't think about it as much as you guys tend to do.
No, this is pretty much all me. Don't put geek in there.
I mean, I do have an entire gaming folder of just like porn games that I download. I'm just going to leave it at that.
But you
I've just
download
built
porn games? You interact with your porn? Like people? You.
Yeah. Well, okay, but like I do have like a fleshlight. I have a few of them actually, but I don't have the fleshlights with the interactive ability, as it were. Because there are some that like do interact as well too. It's like and they're
Like the Hulk Hogan fleshlight that every time you slam into it says, "Yeah, brother."
no. There's some flashlights, like other like things like that like interact with your porn. If like some of the porn videos have a special interactive ability as well too. So instead of it just being a POV like a porn shoot as well too, your thing will vibrate at certain times, basically, or like simulate a certain like things as well too. But it's a machine that can like jack you off essentially. Yes. Because why not? There's sex toys for women. Why not sex toys for femme people as well? There should be sex toys for like people with penises as well.
Well, I mean, they do have them. It's just that we call them women.
Have anyone ever like sat on top of
Yeah. No, I was being.
Slap you now.
That's what I was going for.
Has anyone ever sat on top of a like a raggedy like washer machine and tried to jack off that way?
That's for women because the way their legs rub together, it can stimulate stuff.
Or is that too much really for y'all?
I can see. I'm born with the penis, so I can see how like sitting on a wash machine can be kind of fun, but I don't know if it will stimulate me in that way too. I certainly know.
I mean,
like,
you wouldn't sit on it. I think you'd have to lean up against it frontwise.
I've seen people sit on like the door you put the laundry. It depends on what kind of like laundry, like what kind of like thing, what kind of like machine.
washer. Yeah, it depends. It depends on the machine. It depends on the machine, as always.
And now I'm Googling it just to see, and yep, there's a lot.
And now the shower head, that's for people with
Washing machine, masturbation, gay porn videos, washing machine, masturbation, porn videos. What's the best way for guys to use a running washing machine and or dryer? Straight guy empties his laundry machine before jerking. Young man on washing machine at boyfriendtv.com.
Real
I wouldn't have thought about that. Just nothing about vibrators really vibrates me.
Well, you're
It's
supposed
not
to
my
sit
vibe.
where does this just show has evolved into as well? You know what? I just
So, on a complete change of topic about using people as sex toys, Donald Trump.
Yeah. So
He won New Hampshire.
Oh, that's right. The primaries that happened as well.
Mhm.
So, right, he did. Did he win Iowa? As
I don't know about Iowa. I know he won New Hampshire, but it wasn't as big a blowout as he would have hoped.
I know that like
It was like 53%. He got 32 of the delegates. Nikki Haley got 17. DeSantis and Ramaswamy have dropped out, which is good because they're both thoroughgoing fascists. Unfortunately, Nikki Haley's still in. He got, I think, like 54% to her, like 41% or something. She was down by double digits, but it was still a strong showing for her, which means technically she won.
Yeah, because
it's Donald fucking Trump. And if the base is willing to give her like more than a third of the vote, that means that the base really likes her. And she would have an actual shot at winning in the general, I think, because she's brown-skinned enough for the Dems, but she's so light-skinned that the Republicans don't realize she's brown. To give you a hint of how brown she is, her parents are Ajit Singh Randhawa and Raj Kaur Randhawa. She's a light-skinned South Asian woman.
Yeah.
And she's racist enough to talk about the Civil War for 15 minutes without mentioning slavery. So,
yeah.
she did that at a town hall. Somebody asked her about the Civil War, and she said, "Oh, yeah, blah, 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 states' right, blah, blah, blah," and didn't mention slavery once. And the guy pointed it out, and she was like, "Well, fuck you."
Yeah, pretty much.
Speaking, slavery was a states' rights issue, was it?
Yeah, that's...
It's states' rights when it's things Republicans want. It's federal issues when it's things they hate.
That's what
they won.
Yeah.
Abortion is states' rights when it's about states banning abortion. It's a federal issue when it's about the federal government banning abortion.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
They're hypocrites and liars. Fuck them.
I mean, that's kind of with everything. It's like...
Yes, it is
Yeah.
with everything.
They don't mean anything they say. They're just liars.
If DC does it, it's bad. But if Atlanta did it, good. So,
Kirok, his chances of being disqualified are good in blue states.
Yeah.
But he was never going to win California, so Trump being off the ballot in California isn't actually going to hurt his chances. If he were able to be disqualified in Texas, that would be an issue for him.
Yeah, that would be. I agree. Since Texas is big enough, has a lot of delegates, and that's a red state, pretty much.
So the like,
Texas.
I like the idea of taking him off the ballot, but I don't know that it would actually make a difference in real terms.
Yeah, and even some people have the arguments of it's bad tactically to try to remove him from the ballot system or two.
No, fuck that. He shouldn't be on the ballot. Although, fuck that,
yeah.
the presidency shouldn't exist. Fuck that, capitalism shouldn't exist. We should be a communist utopia.
Yes. But some people, I think even some...
I mean, if we can get him off in swing state, or if we can get him off the ballot in swing states.
Yeah, like Ohio.
Like maybe Colorado. That might make a difference.
Yeah, Colorado can make a difference as well too. But some people believe that we should defeat Donald Trump in the elections at the ballot box, and it's just
no, we should beat him in the street. I can't change that to a word that won't get us banned.
What's your problem with doing this as terrorism?
No, I just really want to throw Molotovs. I'm sorry.
They're called freedom potions.
I really want
I just ADHD. I think I say it.
I see. So you'll have no filter then.
Yeah, pretty much. I try. It's hard. That's what she said. He said. That's what he said. But yeah, Trump is in the running to get taken off the ballot, Kirok, in a couple of states. I can't remember. I remember there were two. I don't remember which ones they were. I mentioned Colorado because I think that was one of them.
I forgot what the other one was.
I think it might be California.
Yeah, probably is California. And I don't know if the states do. I guess they technically can. States are trying to do that.
They're trying to, based on the whole. There was a civil war, and then we had an amendment that said if you're a traitor, you can't run. And he technically kind of did a treason by trying to overthrow the government with the beer gut putsch.
Yeah.
Section 3 of the 14th Amendment disqualifies anyone who engaged in insurrection or rebellion from office.
Okay. Hey, John, probably you stop for a minute, but your internet's back. Hopefully, it doesn't.
Oh dear.
Stream too much.
I stuttered.
It looks like the. Yeah. It looks like the stream didn't it's affected because I'm still watching the stream.
The stream Steam still be up. It says I have an excellent connection. But...
Okay. Oh man, I never wanted a camera in the court for more than seeing him storm out of the court and then be fined $8 million.
Oh no, he wasn't fined. That was a civil case, so it wasn't by the government. That was him having to pay someone he injured for the first time in roughly 77 years.
Yeah, because there's also the civil trials that he's being litigated.
That's the one he just lost against King. I can't remember her name. Something King.
Eugene Carroll?
Yes. Is her last name at all King? Was I anywhere close to right?
I don't know. I have to look it up.
Carroll, but I wouldn't be surprised if Trump.
Eugene
Eugene
Carroll.
Carroll. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, nowhere near King. Maybe I was hoping that he would have to pay the King family for the CIA murdering her family. No, the FBI. Sorry, the FBI assassinated MLK.
Oh yes.
Possibly. I don't actually know that.
They
But
just
it,
they paid or they paid what's his face.
don't talk with your mouth full. It's gross. His net worth is probably not 2.6 billion. The dude is nothing but debt. And also the banks are about to start calling in what he owes. I think that 83 million is more than he actually owns. I think he was leveraged to the hilt. He was balls to the wall in debt. And he ran for president as a way to pump up his brand so that he could sell shit. And then he won, which meant people started to look at him. And I think that was the worst thing that could have happened to him.
Yeah.
Actually, in hindsight,
I think he's broke as fuck.
Yeah. I do too. Will he actually have to pay for those fines or like that settlement?
Oh no! When it's assessed by a court, yeah, they can just freeze assets and take that shit. That is what Google says. I'm pretty sure that's his public valuation at the moment, Kirok. But there's a difference. The problem is that you're allowed to lie and hide things. Like when he
Like
files
that,
for loans and so on, he values his properties at like hundreds of millions. When he files for taxes, he values them at fives of millions. So that's why it's unknown. It's uncertain what he's actually quote unquote. He's worth nothing. He's a white supremacist piece of shit. Morally, he's worthless. In terms of capitalism, he's worth question mark.
Yeah. It's the whole thing of the liquid assets and that sort of thing too, of like the values and stocks and that sort of thing. I just like I don't know, like if like we didn't have like the financial capitalist system that we have now, what would Donald Trump actually be like worth like 2.6 billion as it says or two?
Well, the man has no talents. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, you're talking about a guy who will rip off contractors for 150 grand.
Yeah.
That's not a guy who's worth billions of dollars.
Yep.
Elon Musk, as much as he's a slave raping piece of child of slave owners piece of shit. I'm sorry, it's just whenever I think slavery, I think what they do to those slaves. So that's just my go-to term in my head. I don't mean to say that Elon Musk has ever raped a slave. But I also don't think that Elon Musk has ever ripped off a contractor in order to save himself 150 grand. I think Trump is just a petty piece of shit, and I think he's stupid, and he is not worth. I think he's just been sailing for years on the fact that his dad gave him a couple $1,000,000 when he was a kid.
so why do so many like I mean, and I know it's probably racism in a lot of it, but why do so many like when I see pictures of like Trump supporters, I don't really see healthy people. I see mostly just people who are just like the world has left them behind.
I'm thinking you're looking at food deserts. I think you're looking at 60-hour work weeks. I think you're looking at U.S. healthcare. I don't want to say that they're making bad decisions. I want to say that they are forced to make bad decisions, and they've bought into lies and propaganda.
Yeah.
Maybe they
I
did.
agree.
Oh, it's pretty like it's I don't know.
I mean, it is like fuck that idiocracy bullshit. I mean, poor white trash are not worse people. They're poor because of the situation they were born into. They look that way because of the situation they were born into.
And I agree with that. It's just like I talk to a lot of like, well, I would say a lot. Like I've talked to like I guess you would call them poor whites, I guess, and I feel like
call them Joe the Plumber.
Joe the Plumber. Joe. I'm just like one of them I used to talk to like thought that you should like earn your health care, and I'm just like, how do I convince these people that?
How do I earn the right to live?
Well, not only that, but how do I convince these people that the capitalists are on their sides? I don't think they seem to care.
There is the theory that, I don't know about theory, but the idea that they see themselves as temporarily embarrassed billionaires. Yeah, Joe, you're right. Supporting Trump is a bad choice they've made. I mean, and I hate it, and I want to throw Molotovs, but at the same time, I want to think that it's because they were raised in this capitalist pond. They've been feeding on filth their entire lives.
Yeah.
But how do you convince them? I don't know. You can, Isaiah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can either. I'm just saying because I know people.
Yeah.
I know left wingers on the left, and I do probably include liberals into this to some degree. It's always like they're saying we need to go out and try to like reach across the aisle, but I'm just like,
No.
if you tell them that
You can't compromise with fascists, but I don't think the golden mean fallacy is just something that came from nowhere. I think that might be sort of a brain default we have as meat puppets.
Yeah, probably. But even like some like leftists like Ben Burgess, he like his whole career of like writing Jackman, doing podcasts and writing books, is that he thinks that like he can just like convince more people to become leftists, or by just, as the title of one of his books is, give them a better argument. No, I think there's
Nope.
And
I think it has to be like gay marriage or black people. You have to introduce them to a black person, and he'll be the good one. And then you introduce them to another one, and then another one, and then another one. It's like... Go ahead.
No, I was thinking every white person should be introduced to Isaiah. He is one of the good ones.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's like, interracial marriage was made the law of the land. It was forcibly decriminalized by the Supreme Court in 1967. With, chef's kiss, the most perfectly named court case. Loving versus Virginia. Mr. and Mrs. Loving went to D.C., got married, came back to Virginia, and made it way to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court decriminalized forcibly, ended the ban on interracial marriage in 1967.
Yeah.
Do you know when America finally agreed, as a majority, like 50% plus, that interracial marriage was okay?
Oh, I know.
Go ahead.
Wasn't it until like 1995 that Americans
Yes, it was in the mid-90s. 25 years.
Did you know that? So, actually in 1995, did you also...
I think it was 92-ish, but yeah.
Well, so Mississippi actually abolished slavery in 1995.
South Carolina removed the ban on interracial marriage from its constitution in 98. It was on the ballot. It was a state referendum.
It was 2000, but 98
it might have been 2000. I know it was when I was politically aware as an adult. I know Alabama did it about the same time, or maybe Arkansas. But here's the thing: gay marriage was way more popular way before the Supreme Court finally did it.
Yeah.
And I think that that's because straight people have gay children.
Yeah.
White people don't typically have black children.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, it sometimes happens, and there's a whole genre of porn around that Ted Cruz kind of likes. But I think that knowing people in a certain category forces those who are oriented toward conservatism and republicanism, it forces them to acknowledge their humanity. And when we live in a segregated society, it doesn't work.
Yes.
I just want to tell all the awesome white folks that I'm building a space station. So not all us black folks.
Are you building a real space station? Because that would be awesome. But I think you're building a model that you're showing off on your YouTube channel.
Building a model doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I would love it if you
but
built an actual space station and launched it into orbit. That would be really fucking badass. And I would support you in that.
Yeah.
There, it's called the International Space Station.
But no,
No, but that one's owned by the Russians, and the Russians are kind of sus these days.
Yeah.
Well, actually, much of it's actually owned by Americans because we actually.
Who are also kind of sus these days.
We are very substance these days. But no, we mentioned this also on today's a hangout with each members and patrons as well too. But not only is it that's it's not until someone actually knows other people as a word that's in these martial arts groups they finally what about space station for ants? Yes, exactly. It wasn't until the people finally I got the reference, Joe, until people finally meet someone that's a martial arts group, trans or non-binary or something like that, then they finally think, oh, this actual situation with trans and non-binary people then fighting for their rights is actually real and stuff like that. And not only does that work then when people personally know someone of the martial arts groups, it's also true in media as well too, that even parasocially form these relationships with a black person, a gay person, or Asian person, or trans person,
and that's why representation
matters. Mm-hmm. Jinx.
I got a soda right here.
Yes,
I'll drink it for you.
But then, which is also why the reactionaries in the right wing are so vehemently against women in the media and stuff like that, and will blame the Marvels
because anything other than a white penis that goes into a space-sharing communist space vagina is political.
Yes. There's only two sexes.
Male and political.
Only two genders. Man.
Yep. I shared that meme earlier on the stream. But and then we have Geek, who for some reason has a beard, unlike his cute. Your avatar is adorable. Just gotta say.
Yeah, I made it in Pick Rule. Yeah, exactly. I made it in Pick Rule. I still have it as word too.
And am I saying that you're not adorable? Oh, my internet connection was unstable. That's why you paused. Okay. I was worried that I'd upset you.
No. But we're up to the end of the show as well.
Oh, so we are.
90-minute mark. Let's remember to thank our patrons. Speaking of patrons, as well too, thank you to the Fuckboys, Joe, Marty, Von Rock, Ely, and Mithril. You give us money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you did this. At least help pay for the Zoom call, and then whatever we.
And I gotta say, I want to add that most of our money went to Phoenix, and because Phoenix no longer has their PayPal, that's no longer the case. Patreon. That's no longer the case. So be aware if that was part of your calculus.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it. Taylor, you have two YouTube channels. The Zoomer Intelligence.
He makes a space station for ants. It's a weird. It's either a penis or a testicle. We know this.
That's on the Autistic Modeling Society. Please give money to Phoenix if you have, if you're capable.
If you can, go on their coffee. Their coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Their coffee.
Their coffee.
Cash App and Vimeo as well too. Those links should also be in charitylinks.page and charitylinks.page as well too. Joey Firelink there still needs money as well too.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Roberts could use money as well. Various other
we try to support our friends. Not all of us are as weird and stupid about it as Geek.
Yeah.
He owes 2 Honda Civics in debt because of this shit. That is fucking intense. And by the time Geek pays that debt off, he will have paid for 7 Honda Civics.
Yep. I just like I just mentally am aware of like how much like interest I'm being charged with, and just like okay, I'm just going to be that's just a no charge so I hit my credit card, but like I can charge my credit card up to a certain point.
Oh,
so
you are
I'm
such a
doing that.
millennial.
Yeah.
Stop paying lattes. Gah.
It's just I don't drink lattes. I drink energy drinks, and I buy them in tubs so that like I can
No,
have,
you should
like,
stop drinking energy drinks and start drinking Four Locos. Because then you'd have fun
God.
at work.
then again, the work has coffee machines. If I want to actually like free caffeine, as it were, I can just drink the coffee at the work as well too, when that's working as well too, and just like at least get it for free because like they provide free coffee so that I can continue working. Speaking of which, not only am I here at work today on Sunday, next Sunday I'm also going to be at work. It's because like finally, my company's going to finally switch over our computing system from like Q, which is an antiquated DOS system, as we're basically to Epicor. So we're doing that switch over on the 1st and the 2nd. But after the 1st and the 2nd, which is this Thursday and Friday, the 3rd and 4th, Saturday and Sunday, I'm doing inventory again. So,
Oh, I thought you were going to say you were doing Twitch again. Oh.
Well, yeah, I will do Twitch, but like not today because I'm at work, and not next Sunday either because, and also for this show, it's just that I'm not sure I will be available to do Just Alchemy. I'm here on work, but like I'm alone in the stock room and I can do my own thing. Basically, all they care about is if I get my jobs done, and honestly, there's not that many people here at work anyway. It's kind of the deal that like all the regular people can come in. Either they take PTO for the 1st and the 2nd because they're basically close to the plant to do the switch over to Epicor, or they have people come in on Saturday and Sunday to like not use up their PTO and something like that, and make up for the fact that the plant's closed on like Thursday and Friday, or they do half and half. So that's why I'm here at work on Sundays. Normally I can't work on Sundays. Like sometimes I wish I could because how much fucking work I actually do have to do. But that's why I'm like here on the Zoom call for the show while I work because like they like let me do whatever that I want pretty much as long as I get my work done. That's all I care about. But next Sunday it's like inventory. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to like join Just Alchemy or be in the call because I might actually be busy actually counting things or like managing people to count things and like getting all those counts together for it. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to join for next Sunday. So who knows if there's going to be a show next Sunday. And then, but the Sunday after that, the 11th, I should be available. Pepper's not working, and that'll be the Patreon show because, like, next Sunday after next will be the 2nd Sunday of February. So that's the kind of show thing as well too. But yet, I'm on Twitch, I'm on YouTube. Who knows when I'll be? I don't know if I'm going to be streaming on either of those platforms anytime soon. Since, like I said, I'm working today, and I'm going to be working next Sunday and Saturday. But I'm also on Summer Geek on Tumblr, co-host Blue Sky, Twitter, and I don't have a Summer Geek on Facebook yet. You can follow me on Facebook. I'm Jonathan Scott. You can find me easily, especially if you find John Brooklyn and Isaiah. That's probably me. But John Brooklyn, you're part of another podcast, aren't you?
Yes, Dungeons and Debacles. I'm thinking I'm about to write myself out of the show again because something just happened. The Dracula just confirmed that he is a demon familiar. And my character is a southern preacher, ignorant and stupid. So I don't know that we'll be able to get through this.
Interesting. I also listen to I have the backlog of the podcasts to go through. I also listen to it.
And I mean, we're trying to we tried for a little while to make it so that Kevin could still release the show. I don't know that it's still updating. I don't think it is. I haven't heard it in forever.
Yeah.
We should. It's fun. We're having a lot of fun. I'm metagaming and being stupid, and that annoys Kevin sometimes. But I'm thinking maybe I will be like our current meme. Recruit kicked out of the Navy for ejaculating on friend's pillow. Dishonorably discharged for dishonorably discharging.
Discharging dishonorably. Dishonorably discharged for discharging dishonorably.
Yeah, I mean, if you're
All
going to metagame the Navy, that's how you do it. But we are now going to leave. Everybody, it was great hanging out with you.
Bye-bye, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Practice self-care.
See you guys
And
later.
despite everything I say, Isaiah is not white.
No.